If you spend as much time on YouTube as I do, you will have no doubt noticed the what I spend in a week epidemic that's taken over in recent months, and it's usually attached to a thumbnail with a pretty young person, either male or female, living in a fancy city, and it'll be something along the lines of what I spend in a week as a 23-year-old living in New York, or what I spend in a week as a 19-year-old living in LA, or something along those lines. And I find these videos really interesting because I'm nosy. I like to know what people are spending in a week. I used to be a financial advisor. This kind of stuff does interest me. It tickles my nerdy sensibilities. But as a 37-year-old man who's part of a family of 5 and lives in rural England in a little village outside of a fairly small city, miles away from anywhere cool, they're always a little bit separated from my version of reality, and I look at the things they're buying and don't understand, and think of the things I buy and don't understand why they're not. So I thought it'd be interesting for me to do my version of what I spend in a week as a 37-year-old living in Lincolnshire with a partner and 3 kids and a dog. So that's what this video is. If the idea of that excites you, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on the video. It really does help us out when we're trying to find our way through the YouTube algorithm and appear in search results. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on. We do lots of stuff like this, as well as lots of vloggy stuff too. So subscribe and have a little explore around the channel. So one of the big things I've noticed about these what I spend in a week videos is they very rarely include the real stuff. It's kind of all, I go here to this place to get my haircuts. It's always fancy haircuts, and I'm buying clothes, and this is how much I spend on my car and all that kind of stuff. But we never really get into the nitty gritty of what people are spending on their gas and electric and their phone bills. And for me, as a family man living a relatively normal life, I'm pretty sure the bulk of my weekly and monthly expenses are these things that just go out of my bank account and I never actually see them, and I'm never involved in paying them. And I'm ashamed to say I don't actually know how much these things add up to. So this is going to be a little bit of an eye-opener for me. I've gone through my bank account and I have produced a list. I've broken it down into 5 categories. Now, these are all the things that come out of my bank, like monthly or quarterly or annually. But what I've done for the purposes of this, because we're looking at how much we spend in a week, is I've just worked out what the equivalent is per week. So for example, with our rent, we spend £625 a month on rent, but I've broken that down to £143.75 a week, which I know loads of you are going to say, Kev, that's not 625 divided by 4. It's not. You actually divide by 4.5 to convert from monthly to weekly, because there's 52 weeks in a year, not 48. I knew that A-level in maths would come in handy one day. And then once we've done this bank account stuff, I am going to actually take you on my week with me so you can see what we get up to and get an accurate total of everything we spend over the course of this week. So category 1, this is what I'm classing as the essentials, brackets, utilities. I've actually got 2 categories that I consider essentials, but these are all the ones to do with us actually being able to live in our house, have somewhere to sleep and keep our stuff. So this category includes rent at £143.75, water at £9.66 a week, our phone and internet, and BT Sport, which is included in this as well, so I can watch the wrestling. That's a theme, wrestling. £17.25 a week for BT. Our gas and electric combined is £38.72 a week, which flabbergasted me how much we're spending on gas and electric. We pay £19.44 for Sky. That needs cancelling. Now I can't watch wrestling on there anymore. Our council tax is £35.42 a week. My phone bill, £19.78. Anna's phone bill, a much more reasonable £10.35. She has a better, newer phone than me, but I have far more data, so I win. And our TV licence, £2.96 a week. So that brings our essentials brackets utilities category to a massive subtotal of £297.33p a week. We then move into my other essentials category. So these are the things that we have to pay, but they don't actually involve us being able to live in our house. I'm including the gym in this because I think the gym is important. We are trying to get fit and healthy. So we both have a gym membership, costs £10 and 9p a month. I have a credit card that dates back to when I first gave up work and started doing all this. You know, I bought my camera, bought my laptop. We were skint for a few months. So I have got a decent sized credit card balance that I'm chipping away at very slowly. It works out at about £80 a week that I'm putting towards that. I would love to pay that off, but we're a long way away from being able to pay that off. I pay £2.39 a week to the NHS for prepaid prescriptions. I have 3 medications that I take every month. So rather than paying for the prescriptions individually, I get to do a prepayment, which is nice because it saves me a little bit of money on my medication. Pet insurance for Dave is £6.12 a week. And then his dog food we get from a company called Tails. There is a link down in the description if you want to sign up for Tails. It's great dog food. They deliver it straight to our door, custom for Dave. So according to his weight and age and breed. This isn't an ad, but it is an affiliate link. So it's kind of an ad. But we pay £5.41 a week for Dave's food. So that puts other essentials at £114.10 per week. I've put my car separate from other essentials, even though you could lump it in there, but there's a number of things that make up the car. There's wheels and a roof. In addition to that, there's other stuff you have to pay. So I have a loan from when I bought the car. My car loan comes out at £45.39 a week, which I think ends this summer. I think, how long have I had this car? I think it was only over 3 years. So nearly paid the car loan off now, which is nice because then I can start putting that money towards paying off that credit card that we talked about before. Car insurance works out at £8.70 a week. Car tax, £2.92 a week. And I've allocated £30 a week for petrol. I usually fill the car up a couple of times a month. Costs about £60 each time I do it. We didn't have to do it over the course of this week, which is why I'm including it here, because if I didn't mention it at all, then that's unrealistic. And I am trying to be as realistic with this as possible. So that puts my car expenses each month to £87 and a penny. And then we've got other stuff. This is basically the silly little things that if we were skin, I could cancel immediately. But they're the things that I like to have. They're quality of life things. So we've got, I adopted a giraffe family through the Born Free Foundation. It costs me 89p a week. And once a year, I get a picture of my giraffes. I like giraffes. What can I say? I have an Audible membership because I like audiobooks and I wish I had an affiliate link for them, but I don't yet. Audible, if you're watching, I've been on the internet for 10 years. Can I have a link now, please? But it's £1.84 a week that I pay for Audible. Flix comes out at £2.76 a week. And then, don't let Anna know this next bit, I have 3 separate wrestling subscriptions in addition to having BT Sport just for wrestling. The WWE Network costs me £2.30 a week. New Japan World costs me £1.69 a week. And then I pay 91p a week to Fight TV for the AEW Plus subscription, so I can watch AEW like 12 hours earlier than I'd be able to otherwise. I'm embarrassed about that one. And then lastly, my guiltiest of guilty pleasures, even worse than the wrestling probably, I have a Nespresso subscription that costs me £10.35 a week, which is basically lots of coffee pods to go in my fancy coffee machine because I love coffee. It's my one vice. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't take drugs, I don't gamble. I do drink coffee and I like the good stuff. And then lastly, we've got a few things that I build annually, which I probably could have included in their correct categories, but Amazon Prime comes out at £1.52 a week. Our home insurance works out at £3.79 a week, which seems really high. Have I worked that out wrong? And then we've got an annual travel insurance policy as well that's 78p a week on average. So in total, all of the stuff that just comes out of our bank account without us even realising, £525 and 7p per week before we've even left the house. That's nearly, well, that's over £2,000 a month before we've even left the house. I'm surprised I can even leave the house, but I did. And here's me doing exactly that. First spendy of the week then is £10.63 in Co-op when picking Anna up from work, because we had to buy lunch for me and Anna and some fish fingers and waffles for Andy because our Tesco food shop delivery isn't coming until between 3 and 4 today, and we had no food in the house. So lunch for everybody, £10.63. Tesco food shop has arrived. Frustratingly, doesn't come in bags anymore, so we have to put it in our own bags, which we still get from the Tesco that we go to at the door. We did originally get charged £139.18, but there was so much stuff on there they didn't have that they sent awful replacements for, like sending coriander instead of cumin because it was the one next to it on the shelf.
No, the mustard seeds.
Yeah, mustard seeds instead of nigella seeds. Just, yeah, it was utterly random. So we got over nearly £13 off of refund, so the actual total cost is £126.37, but there's now 11 things that we ordered that I need to go to the shop and buy probably tomorrow now. So for now, £126.37. So it's Tuesday afternoon. I've just dropped Anna off at work and picked up some of the mints that didn't come yesterday. This is for mine and Amy's dinner tonight. We're having chilli, it's going to be very nice. And then a couple of bits for Amy's lunchbox for school tomorrow, crisps and Rice Krispie squares, because I forgot I'd have to make her back up when I was doing the food order earlier in the week. So £6.30 for those bits because of the joys of Anna's 10% staff discount from the Co-op. We will miss that when she finishes uni and goes and gets her big girl job. I'm going to miss the 10% discount in the Co-op. We need to nip to Tesco on the way home to get Andy some talcum powder, she says. £19.47p later. Almost all of it, stuff that we didn't know we needed when we went in. She's bought flowers and toothpaste and soap and water. This is where all the expenses come from during the week. These little random trips to Tesco where you end up buying loads of stuff you didn't know you wanted. It's Thursday, and Thursday just happened to be MOT due day. I feel like leaving it to the last minute, but we thankfully do have a pass with no work needed, so £54 for my MOT, and obviously that's an annual expense, so it's not £54 for this week, it's just over £1 for this week, so Future Careful will allocate the correct amount there. I am sure I'm also now in Tesco car park, so there'll be a couple of other bits to add to that in just a second. £10.75 spent on the last of the bits that didn't turn up in the shopping, just filling those gaps, and also some crisps and some butter for Andy to take to school because he's run out of both. Friday evening, quick trip to Tesco to stock up on Andy's stuff, fish fingers, waffles, that kind of thing. Somehow spent £21.20. I know exactly what. I bought a few little snacks, little chicken snacky things to try and get me through the weekend on my new diet. We had to get some like fabric softener stuff, things that could have waited for the weekly shop if I didn't come to Tesco, but because I was here, they're handy to have for the weekend. But £21.20 just for a quick trip to the shop when I've already been here. Goodness knows. I'm really interested to see how much money I have spent in Tesco in a week. You and me both, Kev. You and me both. It's Saturday afternoon, which is get out of the house and amuse Andy in some way afternoon. We've come to Grantham. We've just spent, hold on, we just spent £21.89p in Asda on pop because we run out of his pop. We got some fish for our dinner tonight and giraffe tea towels and oven gloves because they've got giraffes on. Also, while we were out, we went to Subway. So me and Anna both had a sub. We got drinks for the three of us, £11.58. We're about to go to McDonald's as well to get Andy something to eat. So Future Kev will tell you in a second how much we spent there. So £5.63 for Andy, 3 burgers, a pop and a coffee for me. Back at Tesco, Sunday lunchtime this time. £29.40 is the final spend of the week. In my defence, we had to get more crisps and waffles and fish fingers and bread, all for Andy. That boy's eating us out of house and home, and also I needed hair stuff to make my hair pretty. I needed deodorant to stop me smelling. I needed shower gel to remove the existing smell, and also I've lost my nail clippers. That's why they're so long, so I had to buy some more of them. That is the spending done now though. I'm not leaving the house again. I surely can't spend any more money. All of which brings us to the end of the weekly shenanigans and some absolutely terrifying totals that come out of it. The entire total for spending over the course of that week was £264.26p. When you add that to the existing £525.07p, means our total, what we spend in a week, is £789.33, which I think for a family of any size, but I think for a family, I don't think that's an unreasonable amount of money for us to spend each week, is it? Bearing in mind that includes everything. I mean, it doesn't include things like birthdays, Christmas, holidays. These are all things that we then have to find extra money to do. So I guess it is quite a lot. But the thing that was really scary, is just how much of it, and this is where we could really slim down. I've talked about how the card loan is nearly up and then I can start paying the credit card off a bit more and bring that one down. And there's stuff that I could cancel if we needed to, like the Nespresso, like all the wrestling stuff. So if we had to pinch, we could, but I think the first place we should pinch, even though we don't necessarily need to, is on the amount of money we spent in supermarkets over the course of the week. Bearing in mind we did a really expensive Tesco shopping order that was like £126.37 in its own right. We then spent that much again in supermarkets throughout the rest of the week. We spent £246 and a penny in various supermarkets over the course of 7 days. And that is absurd. That That has got to change. We need to do something about that. And I think I'm going to make that a priority I need to monitor that a little bit more closely and bring that down, because that's just unsustainable. And I think about the amount of waste that must be included. I know we're chunky folk and we obviously do eat a lot of food, but we're on diets at the moment. And yes, part of the extra expense is the fact that we were on diets. So we were buying loads of stuff that we don't ordinarily buy every week. So it's slightly weighted because of that. We bought a lot of herbs and spices and cooking sprays and weird Weight Watchers things, the kind of stuff that we wouldn't normally get. And I can already say the food shop that we got delivered this week, which didn't have anything missing from it, was like 90 quid. So there's already some savings there, but I'm also pretty sure I'll still go to Tesco at least a couple of times this week as well. So need to keep an eye on that and monitor how we can bring that down. If anyone's got any tips for bringing that down, let me know. That aside, I think that's been a really valuable experience for me. I think everyone should go through and do this. I mean, most normal people probably do something like this anyway. I think it's called budgeting and being an adult, which I've never been great at. It is an eye-opener. I didn't realise we were spending quite so much. But looking back through my bank statements briefly this morning, I can see that, yeah, that does look about right. We spend about that based on what comes in each month and how much is left. Yeah, that looks about right. £789.33. So that is how much this family who live in rural Lincolnshire spend in a week. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on the video. Like I said at the start, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, turn notifications on, have a little explore, see what else you might like around these parts. Make sure you also let me know down in the comments what other challenges like this you'd like to see us do. I'm really enjoying the challenge-based stuff at the moment. So if you've got suggestions for other stuff you'd like to see, whether it's things you've seen on other channels or just ideas you've had for yourself, use the comments section to let me know what challenges you'd like to see. And thank you very much for watching.